life wasn't always like that. What we are missing today and for the past few years is a monoculture, which is essentially one culture that all Americans are connected to. Sometimes I even call it the death of mainstream, because nothing really feels mainstream anymore. We were connected as humans, kind of operating on the same wavelength, and the entertainment added to our humanity. That is, unless you were entirely disinterested from the few available shows and movies, then you had no other options, your life sucked, and you were looking for other forms of entertainment like heroin. But at least back
He's talking about the 70s, y'all, and the 60s, and the 50s, y'all. He's talking about that. He's talking about that. He's not talking about the 80s. Matter of fact, anime was available in the 70s. We couldn't see it, but it was there. They was making it. Like, what are we talking about?
And if the album was in high enough demand, they might not actually have it. And that seems like a dumb thing to say, but in our modern culture, entertainment is never not available to you. These stores often had a—
Is that not a good thing? I'm confused. Right, like, I get it. It's like the death of some it's not even the death of some subcultures, because the subcultures exist. They're just on the internet. Almost every niche has a place on the internet where it can live. Am I tripping by saying that? Like, what's going on here? Man, hey, that's a series that I should not have watched when I was a kid. I don't know why. Kids should not have watched this. Respectfully. What the hell? What the hell? Brother put his genitals into a pie. What the hell?
I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? 24 fucking hundred. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get.
Welcome back. We're back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to a Patrick CC video, The Death of Mainstream. I mean, let's get into it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna talk about the internet boom, nigga. Basically, every damn thing is on an app now, streaming. Like, nigga, mainstream as far as TV is cooked, been cooked. And if you get your news from the news, they're lying to you. Like, brother, you better off getting your news from IG. We're gonna get into it though.
There is more high-quality content available than ever before, and yet most people feel like there is something missing. There was once a time where it felt like we were all on the same wavelength when it came to entertainment and pop culture. Everything felt more impactful. Movies were bigger. Music spread further. Famous people were actually famous.
Brother, how the hell is music spreading further without the internet? What?
Awards meant something, and if there was a shocking story in the news, it was impossible to miss. It was much easier to have your finger on the pulse of pop culture, and it created this bond that we had together as strangers. And we took it for granted, because now that that bond is gone, the world of entertainment, music, movies, shows, social media feels oversaturated, confusing, and dull. I bet most of you can relate to this. How many times these days does someone say to you, "Hey, did you hear about," or "Hey, did you see?" And not only is your answer no, but you literally have no idea what they are talking about.
See, I think that's like a case-by-case basis. Like, nigga, I like what I like, and I pay attention to what I pay attention to. I don't have to absorb the same information that y'all niggas absorb. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not watching the news every day, if I'm not watching the mainstream, blah, 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 I'm not, no, nigga. First and foremost, I be in a cut, chilling, watch some anime, watch some YouTube, we coolin'. That's it. If it's a cool show on TV, I'm not gonna catch it, man. I promise you, it's just not gonna happen. There's no need for that. I spent so much of my time watching all of that that y'all talking about, made culture, pop culture, all this, and all of that shit got the same formula. Once you see the formula once, you can't unsee it. Once you can predict what a show is about to do as far as dialogue or the events that are about to happen before you've seen the episode, there's no reason to watch it no more. That's why I went straight into the anime, brother. If I feel like I can write the show, I don't need to be watching that. Simple. I'm talking about any show. It can be any show.
Life wasn't always like that. What we are missing today and for the past few years is a monoculture, which is essentially one culture that all Americans are connected to. Sometimes I even call it the death of mainstream, because nothing really feels mainstream anymore. Every decade had their own version of monoculture that was seemingly easily defined. But what will define the 2020s? Monoculture is dead. And for anyone watching this that's like a teenager or younger, it means nothing because they can't relate to that experience. But literally anyone older than that remembers their version of monoculture and probably misses it because it represents a much more simple time. Every generation before Gen Alpha had limited options for entertainment, and they thought it was a burden, flipping through TV channels saying, "Oh, there's nothing to watch." But now our options are infinite. 3.7 million YouTube videos uploaded every day, one streaming service with every song ever made, and 100,000 new songs being uploaded every day, dozens of subscription services with thousands of movies and TV shows, a literal endless singular feed of short-form videos that one can spend hours without realizing the time has passed. And despite having access to all of this content, a lot of us—
Man, I told you, bro. Shout out Trapo. Kill the robots. Playing that after this. Because y'all niggas just
feel bored and disconnected from each other. Well, today I want to talk about that feeling. That feeling like something is missing. I believe it is tied to the death of monoculture. So let's dive into how we got here, where it went wrong, and actually why some of you might consider it to be a good thing. Entertainment has always evolved based on the available technology. The easier it is to consume, the less impactful it is. Movie theater ticket sales had their all-time peak in the US in 1946. Over 90 million weekly admissions were recorded, which means that about 60% of the US population went to go see a movie that year. Now, were movies objectively better in 1946? Absolutely not. There were just less of them, and less entertainment overall. The introduction of the television likely slowed down movie ticket sales, but opened up a whole new opportunity for entertainment, cartoons, sitcoms, and of course, ads. But even television has its limitations. You had to watch the show at the exact time it aired, or you missed it and had to wait for someone to tell you what happened the next day. Or even worse, you had to read this book called the TV Guide to figure out when they were going to air.
Bruh, thank God for the death of TV Guide. Thank you, God, thank you. That's all I ever wanted was TV Guide. It's never a good thing. Like, bruh, as soon as they started introducing TiVo and you could record your shit, it was cooked. As soon as they started, well, you could basically get the little menu on the thing for Comcast and go to the guide and just, you was cooked, buddy. And I'm glad for it.
A rerun. Plus, there were only a few channels, so competition for attention was fierce, but that also meant that millions of people were watching the same thing at the same time. With most households operating on 9-to-5 work schedules, the only time carved out to entertain yourself was between 7 and 10. This was known as prime time, and that's when the few good shows were on. Families watched the same things together, and a new episode airing at 8 p.m. on a weeknight could dominate school hallways and office break rooms the next day. Worst case scenario, you could stay up for late night television where Letterman would catch you up on all your pop culture news. We were connected as humans, kind of operating on the same wavelength, and the entertainment added to our humanity. That is, unless you were entirely disinterested from the few available shows and movies, then you had no other options, your life sucked, and you were looking for other forms of entertainment like heroin. But at least back
He's talking about the 70s, y'all, and the 60s, and the 50s, y'all. He's talking about that. He's talking about that. He's not talking about the 80s. Matter of fact, anime was available in the 70s. We couldn't see it, but it was there. They was making it. Like, what are we talking about?
then, it didn't have fentanyl in it. But the way people consumed movies and television stayed relatively the same for decades. By the 1970s, 95% of households had a TV in it. And then in the 80s and 90s, there was a massive uptick in available entertainment, like an entire TV channel dedicated to
Hold on, bro. Rest in peace, Chandler, bro. Rest in peace, Chandler.
showing music videos, or an entire channel dedicated to showing cartoons. But even with more
And once the Genesis happened, you were done. And once Cartoon Network happened, it was over with. Like, bro, why would I watch anything else, bro? Space Ghost hitting. You got my boy Ugly. Hold on, bro. Let me go back, bro. I'm really.
These 95% of households had a TV in it. And then in the 80s and 90s, there was a massive uptick in available entertainment, like an entire TV channel dedicated to showing music videos, or an entire channel.
Boom. All right, you got the Flintstones in the 60s. I think Lil Buddy Ass is in the 60s too. He looked like fake Speed Racer. And if that's Speed Racer, that's a Japanese cartoon. Anime. Huh, got your ass. Look, so yeah, if anybody ever watches Speed Racer and they say, oh, I've never seen an anime before, you lied, nigga, you lied, you lied. There goes Speed Racer right there. You lied. Shout out to Papa. Shout out to Buzz Bunny and that bit. Like, bro, that's the 20s or something, the 40s or something. Like, bro, why would I watch the mainstream? Bro, the cartoons is hitting different. Look at my boy Droopy, Snoop. I can't remember this nigga name. That shit was funny though. You got the Smurfs. Like, bro, what are we talking about? You got Richie Rich. What are we talking about? No, what are we saying? I only remember this Black Angel nigga. This shit was probably the 80s or something. I remember that little Asian dude. I don't know why though. I remember them people. I just don't know their name. Got my boy Yogi Bear in there. Come on, bro. Like, it's not a competition. Y'all cannot compete with Cartoon Network. What?
Dedicated to showing cartoons. But even with more niche options, primetime shows still dominated pop culture, and Americans still felt a sense of togetherness through a somewhat limited availability. Is music not hitting the same anymore? Doesn't it feel like you used to have a connection with others based on a shared love for the same music? Well, music had a similar permeating connection to monoculture with a few key differences. For most of the 20th century, music was somewhat of a luxury. Today, for $15 a month, you can get access to every song ever made and 100,000 new ones uploaded daily. $15 used to get you one album, and you had to take your happy ass to a record store and physically buy it. And if the album was in high enough demand, they might not actually have it. And that seems like a dumb thing to say, but in our modern culture, entertainment is never not available to you. These stores often had a—
Is that not a good thing? I'm confused. Right, like, I get it. It's like the death of some it's not even the death of some subcultures, because the subcultures exist, they're just on the internet. Almost every niche has a place on the internet where it can live. Am I tripping by saying that? Like, what's going on?
a strong sense of community and served as a gathering place for music fans. It wasn't unusual for artists to stop in and play mini concerts or sign albums before an appearance in a particular city. When people bought an album, they were now invested. They worked hard for that money. So to get the value back, they actually listened to the whole thing. They even tried to like the songs that they didn't initially like because they paid for it, which ultimately made them appreciate the artistry on a different depth.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. if the song's ass, the song's ass. I don't care how many times you play it, brother. What are we talking about?
This uninterrupted focus on the music built a deeper connection from the fans to the artist. Fans had to imagine what their favorite musicians were like based on lyrics, a few interviews, and carefully staged photographs in magazines or posters on their wall. There was a mystique. Pop stars felt larger than life, almost like fictional characters, which is why people would pass out at the mere sight of Michael Jackson. Today we have countless interviews and endless access to all of their thoughts and opinions on social media. That mystery is gone. Artists are
I low-key think that's better though. And to be honest with you, some of the same, not even the same artists, but some artists who are strictly in their artistry still have that mystique. So that's not necessarily true. Now, do you even need that much access to the niggas? That's my thing. Like, why do people feel like that these artists have to be that accessible to them? Them niggas is out there making music, hopefully impactful music. I wouldn't want this nigga on Instagram, Snapchat every day, like, oh yeah, bro, you see what we doing? Like, nigga, where you at? Why you not in the studio?
more accessible than ever, and because of that, they feel less special. And since music was basically a luxury, most people didn't have tons of disposable income to buy every release they wanted to listen to, so they typically resorted to listening to the radio or watching MTV. You couldn't just search your favorite Guns N' Roses song and get that instant gratification. You had to turn on MTV and just wait for it to come on, but in the meantime, you were consuming tons of other good songs that made you a more well-rounded music listener. And that was the same predicament for everyone. So at school dances, parties, or clubs, everyone felt connected because the songs that were being played were the ones that everyone had the same access to. A lot of club DJs today still mostly play music from the 2010s, and a lot of people wonder why they aren't playing more modern music. Like, are we all crippled by nostalgia? Well, not necessarily, but when you play music from the 2010s, you can kind of guarantee that everyone in the club is going to know those songs. Whereas today, everyone just listens to vastly different music. What's considered extremely popular and mainstream to you might literally not be considered extremely popular and mainstream to the person next to you.
That's good. So we don't have a hive mind. Like, nigga, I don't want to have the same opinion as the nigga next to me. For the most part, especially not with music, nigga, I'm trying to learn some new shit. I'm trying to be introduced to some new shit. Like, oh yeah, that's hard. And let me put you on this. You know what I'm saying?
Today, we have unlimited access to every song ever made. When a new song or album drops, it is just right there in your phone. You don't have to talk to anyone, don't have to buy it, don't have to wait. Most of the time, the artist is actually begging you to listen to it, or you accidentally found out about it. You didn't even want to discover it. Most people have resorted to just letting the algorithm decide what music to recommend to them because it's easier than doing all of the effort I just talked about before. Combine this lack of mono connectivity through music, requiring absolutely no effort to get access to the music, as well as artists not having the star power due to overexposure, and surprise, surprise, music holds absolutely no value to the average casual listener. Once we entered the 2000s, the rapid advancement of available technology caused a dominant monoculture to become more fragmented. TVs were becoming cheaper, bigger, and higher quality. The internet was getting faster, becoming easier to access and navigate. Cell phones were in everyone's pocket. We were becoming more connected than ever, but we didn't realize it was actually going to drive us further apart. In my opinion, 2000 to 2010 was a great sweet spot for pop culture. I would describe today's culture as everything all at once, and the early 2000s was the same, but it was slightly more manageable. Let's start simple. Movies. Here's a graph of every movie released per year around the world. You can see the quantity of movies released remained relatively the same from the early 1970s to the late 1990s, and it just started slowly ramping up in the 2000s before it exponentially exploded. Back then, there was a rhythm to it all. You'd get 2 or 3 massive blockbusters every summer, movies like Spider-Man, Pirates of the Caribbean, or The Dark Knight, which dominated culture for weeks. As fall and winter rolled in, you'd see smaller budget, more experimental, or just simple films rise to the surface. Movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Little Miss Sunshine, Juno, and Requiem for a Dream.
Juno is fire. Still to this day.
Everyone kind of knew what was coming and when it was coming, and that predictability created a shared sense of anticipation. Even smaller budget films had a shot at becoming massive, and the reason they had a shot was because people actually went to the theaters. Our last peak in movie theater ticket sales was in 2002 when 1.5
But even then, I didn't see Napoleon Dynamite in theaters. I don't think I seen Juno in theaters. I saw it on TV, so
5 billion tickets were sold. But even if you didn't go to the theater, we had these really cool things called DVDs, where you could buy the movie that you missed and watch it at home. And if you didn't want to commit to buying it, no worries. You could rent the film for a few bucks by going to this magical place called Blockbuster. This is a store where you could essentially browse all of the movies that you didn't get the chance to see.
Damn, they got rid of the red boxes too, didn't they? I think there's still red boxes. I think you still get disc, brother. Like, rent them. I mean, they're smaller. Like, there's less of them, but they're still there. I think it's the one that
See, you would actually talk to the employee who worked there, and they would give you a recommendation or tell you what everyone else is renting. Sometimes a movie was in such high demand that all of their copies would be rented and you couldn't get it. Imagine that. Imagine any form of entertainment being unavailable for you today. Scarcity created demand, and it made the film more exciting. It made you want to watch it more. Most of those crappy yet special early 2000s comedies were the perfect films to pick up.
Why is he showing Apple? American Pie? That's what it is, American Pie. Why the I say apple pie? Man, hey man, hey, that's a series that I should not have watched when I was a kid. I don't know why. Kids should not have watched this. Respectfully, what the hell? What the hell? Brother put his genitals into a pie. What the hell?
At a Blockbuster, and people love that place. The company earned $5 billion in revenue in 2004. The point is that you and everyone around you had this physical connection with the entertainment and was actively using their brain to choose what they wanted to consume. TV still had a somewhat similar rhythm in the 2000s. Primetime was still valuable airtime. MTV was in its best era, in my opinion, having a plethora of terrible yet oddly captivating reality TV shows and experimental series while still having their sister network, MTV2, play music videos 24/7. It was one of the most versatile eras for mainstream music, with lyrical rap, crunk rap, rock, emo rock, country, pop, EDM, R&B, and countless other genres.
To say there's so much more music, like genres now. Just so many different blends of music genres now. Like I can't agree.
In a healthy rotation on MTV and the radio. It was just on the cusp of being overwhelming, but having it all contained on MTV and VH1 made it still manageable to keep up with. Kids were absolutely consumed by Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and Cartoon Network, which were 3 separate networks that each had 2 to 3 shows worth paying attention to.
Debatable. Like, to be honest with you, if I'm thinking back in my TV watching history, I could have cut out all the Disney Channel shows. I don't think I didn't need any of that shit. Like, you could have got rid of all the Hannah Montana, what else was on? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, even Steven was hitting different. There was some other shows on, if I go through like the catalog of Disney shows, it's some shows that I would probably keep in my lexicon, but the rest of them, my brother, I don't think I needed to see Austin and Alley. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I needed to see KC Undercover Gang. I don't think I needed to see Shake It Up. Why was this on TV? Shout out to Dan over, like, bro, why here again? Why was I here? Nick, I ain't gonna lie. I think I consume more of Nick at Night than actual Nick. Like, I was watching more Family Matters. What else? The Nanny. Bro, the Nanny was hit different. It was so many others that I was watching. Besides, I wasn't watching regular Nick. I'm sorry. I was watching Nick at Night. You watch Toonami. You watch Cartoon Network when it's on, because you're gonna catch some Fox, and then you might see. I might pop in and out of Disney Channel. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
In their respective eras. We still had a healthy separation between our personal lives and our school and work life from 9 to 5, only entertaining ourselves lightly in the morning and in the evenings. We didn't have a phone to distract us from literally every millisecond of boredom. The entertainment options still felt limited enough that you could feel like everyone around you was on the same wavelength. Plus, we were still at the mercy of knowing the schedule of when new shows were going to air. But that started to die when cable companies provided DVR capabilities. You could now—
Yeah, facts. Remember the DVR? Technically, cable companies still got that. I mean, a little bit. But cable companies dying out too, so it's like, cable they got to do something. Yeah, bro, I forgot about SpongeBob, the GOAT. Yeah, but nigga, that's like a guarantee. I think everybody seen one episode of SpongeBob unless they just 90 years old or some shit.
Now record your favorite shows and movies and watch them later whenever you wanted. This was the beginning of the streaming service era takeover that so many people today loathe. Today, you may feel like you are not as connected to the culture because 1, less people are going to the theaters, and 2, the DVD and TV business has been demolished by streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, etc. Being able to stream anything, anywhere, anytime, all while being alone in your room means there's no anticipation, no excitement, nobody to share the experience.
Yeah, that's cap. That's cap. That's what the internet has communities for. So that's cap. I get it though. Like, especially when you're trying to make content, niggas won't always, like, bro, you showing the extreme highs and extreme lows. Like, nigga, it's somewhere in the middle for the most part. And to be honest with you, my main problem with the streaming services now, everybody trying to get a piece of that anime pot, and it's like, I need one monolith. Nigga, just come here, get a conglomerate, and just one app where all of the anime's there, so I can just pay my money to them and watch everything. That's all I need. Unfortunately, that would never happen because of all the streaming services. But brother, this is sickening. I was trying to watch Bleach. Finally, they said, you know what? Hulu got this now. Crunchyroll's gone. I said, nah, I got Hulu. Who the hell want to log on to this? I don't want to log on to this.
With, and therefore, no real reason to watch, which is why you simply scroll and scroll through endless choices, waiting for something to magically grab your attention, waiting for something to give you a reason to watch, but it just never happens. On a lighter note, every now and again, we do have a monoculture moment. I think back to the Barbie movie where girls were excited to dress in all pink and drag their boyfriends to the theaters, only for the guys to immediately after drag their girls to see Oppenheimer, where I'm assuming many of them fell asleep. I think back—
the ops, bring out the ops. This nigga's so stupid. Like, I ain't watched no damn Oppenheimer, nigga, and I ain't watched Squid Games. The reason why I ain't watched Squid Games, brother, there's an anime version of this. They really just took all the jerk from it, said here, and presented it in real time for y'all niggas. The anime version better, bro. Let's go watch that. Shout out. But like, bro, I want to really know why Netflix has so many animes. Stop these niggas. Someone stop these niggas, bro. Like, I'm not popping up for this. Then these niggas say, you know what? I know that's a webtoon. Let me steal the webtoon and turn it into this. I hate you. That's supposed to be an anime game. What are we doing? My boy, bro. Weak Hero is supposed to be an anime. The fact that it's not is pissing me off. I'm still gonna go watch it. I'm sorry. Like, I have to go onto Netflix and go watch Weak Hero. I definitely recommend it. Brother, that young boy is wild. I don't know if they're gonna show the things that he did in that webtoon, but nigga, you wanna see somebody get violated with a coke can? You wanna see somebody get violated with a pen? Physically, not, brother, that nigga's wild. I think that nigga lost his mind, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. They did his mans like that, bro, and she ain't never been the same, bro.
To Squid Games, where it felt like everyone and their mother was blindsided by this dystopian critique of capitalism disguised as a fucked up game show. As far as films go, it feels like it's only every couple of years where there is a moment that we are all in sync, when it used to be literally all year, every year. I can't even remember the last time music had a monoculture moment. I mean, sure, radio is still kind of relevant. TikTok made popular songs more popular, but there's so much music all over the place, all the time, that I don't even know what anybody's listening to anymore. For TV, Yellowstone, Severance, White Lotus, Love Island, I mean, they are extremely popular, but can we say everyone is watching those shows?
Why do y'all want everybody to watch the shows? Like, nigga, are they lining your pockets? I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of a cult. That's what it sounds like. Y'all niggas want to be cult-minded. I'm good, brother. I like having a different opinion. I'm sorry.
Shows? Will those shows define this era? I bet there are a ton of you watching that are like, I didn't watch a single one of those shows. The irony of it all is that the death of a unified culture everyone seems to be feeling came with our pursuit to be more connected than ever before, because the adaptation of the internet and social media into our everyday lives was the nail in the coffin for monoculture. By the turn of the century, everyone with extra cash had a computer somewhere in the house. Our parents were using them to basically replace what the newspaper did for decades. As the desktops and internet connection got faster, we looked at forums, chatted through AOL Instant Messenger, played simple flash games on Newgrounds, and even bid on random antiques from eBay. Being connected.
Damn, bro, rest in peace, Flash games. That's dead now. I don't know what they're doing. I think Adobe just said, you know what, it's not making enough money. Adobe Flash is rest in peace.
To random people all over the world was beautiful. You were no longer limited to the thoughts, beliefs, and interests of those in your geographical location. The internet was still somewhat difficult to navigate. You know, there was a time when Google didn't have all the answers. You had to check other search engines like Yahoo and my favorite, Ask Jeeves, to find what you were looking for. Videos would take forever to load, the quality was often terrible, and sometimes just straight up didn't work. Using the internet kind of felt like exploring uncharted land. That friction, scarcity, and lack of instant gratification was what made it special. It was worth working for. Today, we just expect things to work. We demand convenience, and we are willing to give up our human autonomy for it. Initially, the entertainment industry as a whole saw the internet as a threat because of piracy. Suddenly, millions of people could download movies, music, and TV shows for free through networks like Napster, LimeWire, and torrent sites, completely bypassing traditional revenue.
Ah, the Pirate Bay. Yo. Nah, I was a kid when I was doing that. I don't even care, nigga. Free music! Yeah. I'm telling you, bro, especially after I got in trouble for buying all that damn music on my phone. Because I ain't know that shit was going to the car, the bill, nigga. Oh. Well, nigga, we can steal music. I'm a jugger.
New models. Studios, labels, and networks feared the collapse of their business structures, as physical sales and TV deals were at the risk of being replaced. The internet stripped them of control, and for the first time, the consumer had the power to access content without paying a cent. From the consumer's perspective, the logic was simple. Why pay for something when you can get it for free instantly? Piracy wasn't just about being cheap, it was about convenience. Buying a CD or DVD meant going to a store, spending 10 to 20 bucks, and hoping you'd like the full album or movie. Then again, people didn't realize the nuanced value of the additional human experiences they got while consuming entertainment. All that driving to the store, talking to people, limited inventory, sitting on a sticky theater seat, that was all just considered to be an inconvenient cost.
It is. Maybe it's because I'm like antisocial-ish. Like, people suck. Why do I need more interaction with them? I'm confused. I'm confused. I want more interaction with you people. No offense. I'm just saying, like, that don't make no sense. I'm not trying to pull up, go to the theater. Oh, this shit not. All right, bet. Okay, cool. Now I'm just sitting here wasting time.
cost to getting what you wanted. But you couldn't argue against the value that the internet brought to individuals. It gave everyone a voice, a platform, and endless options tailored exactly to their preferences. And that ramped up significantly in 2003 when MySpace became the first widely accepted platform for social media. By 2005, the platform had around 300 million users and had an estimated valuation of over $10 billion. The platform allowed people to share their personal passions and stories as individuals. If nobody in your real life aligned with your interests, you would be able to find a community of like-minded people online. People started calling random strangers on the internet their friends. They became invested in their lives, wanting to know what they were doing in their geographical location. Your connection to random people around the world started to make you disconnected from those physically around you. Slowly, the digital world began to feel more important than the physical one. As platforms evolved, first with Facebook, then Instagram, and eventually TikTok, the focus shifted even further away from a shared experience and towards personal branding. Algorithms were designed not to connect people as a whole, but to keep you personally engaged, feeding you content you already agreed with or found entertaining. The internet became less of a town square and more of an echo chamber, reflecting only your own tastes, beliefs, and biases back at you.
There we go. That now this is the problem. This is the problem. But see, I'm the type of nigga. I got an eclectic style, bro. Like I got an eclectic taste. Even though, like I said, bro, a lot of the TV that I started consuming, I stopped because it's like, what's the point if I can predict it? It's still all right, boom. Okay, this is a nice storyline. I can see where this should go. If it's like a short or something, I like it. Like I like to see different. So, I mean, if you present me something that not even is agreeable, but something that's thought provoking, I might like it, even if I don't agree with it. Cause I'm not a robot. You niggas, this is a problem for robots.
Just so you wouldn't click off the app. Social media stopped being about community and became a stage where everyone was the main character of their own story. It made individuals feel more powerful than ever, which could be considered a good thing, but it also created a cultural landscape more narcissistic, divisive, and isolated than any era in history. So the reason why movies, TV, YouTube, social media, and literally all other forms of entertainment don't feel the same is a combination of really complicated nuances. However, with a shift in mentality, you could look at all of this as a good thing. If you are a strong-minded individual, introverted, or just someone who doesn't really care about a sense of community and those around you, you are in the golden ages. For decades, if you didn't fit into the narrow lens of what the main
telling you, bitch, I'm in my prom, like beat it on. Man, stop playing anyway, bro. I'm saying, I feel like 07, 08 Kobe, nigga, MVP.
stream deemed valuable, if you didn't like the biggest pop star or wear the right clothes or relate to the 5 TV shows everyone else watched, you were invisible. You had nowhere to go. You were the weird kid, the quiet one, the one who didn't belong. But now the internet gives you infinite options to find belonging. And literally any interest you may have, no matter how unique it is, chances are there is a niche community where someone like you isn't just accepted, you're celebrated. Do you like wolves eating watermelons? So do 61,000 other people.
Nigga, I'm locked in. What the fuck? They got wolves eating watermelons? Why? Why not? I'm here. Lock me in. What are we doing? I don't even know why I would watch this, but why not?
People. Do you like stapling bread to trees? So do 335,000
bread stapled to trees. Get help. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help.
other people. Today, a girl who was once mocked in school for drawing anime
She tough. She's so tough with that pen.
characters in her notebook can become a full-time artist with a fan base of thousands.
This is why I love the internet. This is why I love the internet. Shout out to Patrick CC. Like this. It's beautiful. Shout out to this YouTuber, man. Like, bro, you could be passionate about something and get money for it and turn it into a career. That's what the internet is beautiful. That's the beautiful thing about the internet. I really hope niggas see that, bro. Like, it's not always bad, bro. Look at that Ren Ito.
For millions. A kid who was laughed at for making weird songs on his cracked BandLab app can go viral on TikTok and then chart on the Spotify Viral 50. A filmmaker with no connections and no budget can put their short film on YouTube and have it resonate with millions of people around the world. These stories were impossible in the monoculture era because the gatekeepers decided what was and what wasn't. Before the internet, independence was next to impossible, and today the gatekeepers have less power than ever. So maybe
the thing is, though, sometimes gatekeeping is a good thing. Oh my God, here we go. We can't get into this about gatekeeping being good or bad. It is what it is. I feel like almost everything can be good or bad if you just overdo it or underdo it. So it just depends. Okay.
Entertainment feels more chaotic, more overwhelming, and less special. Maybe we are no longer all connected under a simple, easy-to-navigate monoculture, but there is more opportunity than ever for a small independent creator to get a taste of that success. And for consumers, if you know what your interests are and do not let algorithms decide what you want to watch, and are willing to do the tedious task to actively get outside of the echo chamber that these algorithms are trying to hold you in, and find that one quality YouTuber or that one underrated Hulu series, then you are probably completely fine with today's entertainment climate. Build your own world. Who cares about community? This is your life. Now, I personally go back and forth on my feelings towards the death of monoculture. I don't personally feel drowned out in content. Since I have terrible movie and TV taste, I will watch just about anything as long as there is a decent premise for the plot.
You see what I'm saying? And then that's the other beautiful thing. Just like he said about that, I do the same thing. Just like nigga, just like there's good anime, there's bad anime. Sometimes you gotta watch the bad anime to appreciate a great one. You know what I'm saying?
As far as music goes, I am totally willing to put in the grind to find my new favorite artist, and I'm actually one of those annoying people who kind of starts to dislike someone when they get more famous. So I actively look for underrated talent, and Spotify and social media makes that a million times easier and more convenient. But at the same time, I do miss that sense of monoculture. I play a lot of golf, and when I meet new people, I've had countless conversations that lead nowhere because we have absolutely nothing in common due to being stuck in totally different algorithmic echo chambers. Sometimes the golfers don't even watch golf, so I'm just like, how's the weather? And obviously I'm a creator, so I'm benefiting from a system that was created for me to succeed. And because of my feelings going back and forth, my channel is somewhat a reflection of the lack of and yearning for an entertainment monoculture. My YouTube channel is kind of like a 2000s MTV inspired hodgepodge of modern pop culture. Firstly, I'm reliable, posting every Monday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every week we talk about something pop culture related. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's film, sometimes it's internet personalities, sometimes it's a comedian, action sports star, politics. The modern YouTube algorithm.
Brother, is this nigga just self-promoting? Look, love you, Patrick. Great video, brother. I don't have time for this today. Look, we're gonna get into the song I was talking about around like the 5-minute mark, nigga. Shout out Trapo. Please come back to music, brother. Please. Please drop an album. Please, fuck. Let's get into that, man. Kill the robots, bro. You niggas is robots.
I say they just robots. You know. Close your computer. Trouble never been a winner, preach, but you should go do something cooler. Whoa, I can read the signs. I see all my generation suffer from a filter full of lies. And that just isn't right. No, delete your Instagram. My location off, cause them boys on the hunt, no, they don't give a damn. They might pull up to the house and pull them guns out, they don't give a damn. But we don't really care. Generation so lazy, you can take the steps, you can take the steps. We ain't scared of no one, we just don't rock with the robots. The robots, and we don't hide from no one. We just don't rock with the robots. The robots, blame it on the social network. Blame it on the social. Blame it on the social network. Blame it on the social network. So if I hit a lick, rob you for your computer, would I be in the wrong? At least I didn't shoot your mask on. Please hand me the phone. Cause I treat that important, shorty. Got some soft and she rolling. Don't blow my roll and play on it. And she say she love to drink. Why you wanna drink? You ain't 21, girl. Never wanna drink, I'm 21, no. What? And she love my DUI. Girl, I made that song up when I was 16. Run around town with a pint on me. Police behind me, it's a high-speed chase on the 95. She not a robot, I guess she can ride. Shorty gon' post up, tell me what's on your mind. Shorty, I ain't playing with you. I've been depressed, and I've been drinking out the bottle. Yelling bartender, could you help me, please? I'm only 17, no, I don't got ID. But could you help me, please? I'm only 17, no, I don't got ID. Pass me my car keys, I know I'm going. Pass me my car keys, I know I'm going. Right now, I see robots, I see robots. once he roll by.
God damn, that nigga's a problem. That nigga was making that shit at 17, bro. Oh my god, bro. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit the notification bell so you can stay updated when I drop videos on this channel. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Baby, slide by to my mind.